Hi, welcome to BTV. This is part 2 of a short video series about how we can become involved in helping thousands of people who were blown up by landmines and lost legs as a result. With me is John Mullen, who, along with his friend Doug Bowman, are the founders of a charity called Help One Walk. John, it's like a quantum leap from reading about a tragedy in the bush to writing a book entitled Florencia, An Accidental Story. I'm sure a lot of people would like to know what happened to get you to that point.
When we came upon Florencia's story, we found ourselves imagining what it would be like to lose a leg. And in the question of how do you function and carry on even with menial tasks. Right. Emotionally, we then became really caught up in her story. And we're wondering, how does she get around with one leg? How does she work in the field or cook? How does she collect water? And normal activities for Florencia would be arduous and seriously time-consuming. And Graham, few of us can fathom the mental torture of an amputee and what they go through. We know that it's difficult for war veterans, but here's an innocent civilian, a young girl whose life will never ever be the same. And she's asking questions like, will I ever get married? Will I ever be able to walk hand in hand with my son? And we weren't sure if it was an instinct or an inner voice, but there was one moment where Douglas and I both realized that she didn't just need a story, she needed a leg. And what quickly followed was a tap on our shoulder. You get her a leg. Well, we were like detectives on a trail. We began to look at, first of all, how do we contact the author of this National Geographic article? And we were so surprised that she was an adjunct. We found her, she was an adjunct professor at Cal Poly University.
You are kidding.
Which is just 2 hours away from our home. So we called her, we shared our interest in Florencia's story and getting her a leg. So then she connected us with Adarito Ismail, who was the head of demining in Mozambique. And of course, we tell the entire story in our book, but just to give you the highlights, Adarito took 2.5 days out of his schedule, and he went all the way into the bush to find Florencia and sat with her and shared with her a letter from us, just saying that we would love to help her get a leg. And all we know is that she nodded, and after she nodded, we said, okay, game is on. But then we were asking ourselves, we have no idea how to put this on. How are we going to do this?
Right. We've got some images here from that particular visit. John, those images are powerful, but you offered to get her a leg.
Yeah. Well, that was the next step on our trail, and honestly, our journey was filled with lots of potholes and roadblocks, and we were simply novices in the world of prosthetics. What we did find out is that in Mozambique, it's cost $12,000 to $15,000 for a leg. And when we found that out, we were thinking, well, we don't have the money, and no one else in Mozambique has the money. How are we going to get Florencia a leg? And that's just the initial cost, because a leg only lasts 3 to 5 years, and then a typical amputee is going to need 7 to 8 in their lifetime. The greatest shock for us was not just Florencia alone, it was that we found out there are 10,000 just like Florencia that are amputees in Mozambique.
So an expensive leg then has a 3 to 5 year lifespan, and you need 7 to 8 in your lifetime. So that's between $100,000 and $130,000, even at current prices.
That's correct. And so
that's enormously expensive.
And in Mozambique, they live on $1.25 a day. So we knew that there was just no hope that anyone would get a leg.
So I guess at this point, many people would have just given up. So what kept you guys going?
Well, the bottom line, Graham, is this girl in the bush of Mozambique needed a better ending, and so did we.
So please order the book and read this fascinating story, while at the same time building your own understanding of the scale of the problem and the human need. Thanks for listening.